Well, there was another fight on the undercard that was, how shall we say, an old-fashioned slugfest. It was between Jason Collins from down the road here in Sheffield and Matthew Thirlwall from Bermondsey in London. We join it in round 5, and Collins has already lost 1 point for illegal use of his head.
Seconds out. Round 5.
Well, they've kept up a cracking old pace, these two, and remember they have met before, October of 2002, when Thirlwall, in just his 4th professional contest, stopped Jason Collins, who's in the purple tonight. Since then, Collins has had 15 contests, Thirlwall's only had 7.
Quite a physical fight in terms of, you know, what's actually being thrown. You know, there's elbows going in there, there's heads going in there, occasional holding. So it's very, very physical. Thirlwall's got his hands cupped up around his head because he doesn't want to take any unnecessary headbutts.
Well, he seems to be enjoying it. Every so often he has a bit of a grin.
He needs to quit that smiling because, you know, this is all business. You know, I'm sure Collins ain't smiling in there. This guy just wants to win. Thirlwall needs to keep his concentration, use the whole perimeter of the ring. Instead of standing in front of him like that, a lot more lateral movement, step left, step right, pop the jab, look for the openings. And if he keeps trying to hit this guy flush on, he's not going to catch him. He needs to create an angle to punch from. That's better from Thirlwall. Nice little two-fisted little combination there. Jabs, uppercuts and hooks.
He's still standing very square though. That's better by Thirlwall. Good left hand right at the end of that little sequence, went in and made a solid looking contact. Just about midway through this, the 5th round, and then 1 more to go. Collins still battling away.
I don't think that Thirlwall is going to stop Collins. You know, he's too determined in this fight because, as I said before, this is for him is a championship fight. That's his mindset.
Well, he hasn't been stopped for the past 7 or 8 contests. He was caught cold by Gilbert Eastman in July of last year, which rather annoyed him because he thought he should have been allowed to continue. Nothing there really coming through from Thirlwall. Collins taking it all in the gloves and having a real go. Well, this would be an old Nobbins fight in the old days, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it's a better fight now. You know, Thirlwall can obviously see the finish line. He's putting everything into this last assault, just trying to nick the referee's eye. You know, the cleaner punches obviously have come from Thirlwall. The better work rate has obviously come from Thirlwall. I just feel that the heavier punches have come from Collins.
I think Collins is very tired. Good footwork by Thirlwall. He's got to keep those hands of his up though. Collins really sucking in the air and having a real go. Coming up to the end of this round, this has been a hard bruising encounter. Left from Collins, gave Thirlwall a little bit of trouble, but back he comes. What a good round that was. Great work there by Collins in it as well. Well, the Ingle father and son combination in the Collins corner, I think that Thirlwall is rather tired, or perhaps the word they used was knackered. But this was a very busy round for both of them. And Thirlwall tried to get through with that right hand, and Collins, well, wily old competitor that he is, this is his 50th professional contest, remember, tonight. Was more than a match for him. Solid right hand and a left to follow, and that was the point where you thought all of a sudden that Collins might just start to go, but he's still there.
You've got to win it, all right? You listening to me? Don't go big, just keep them smooth, speed all around. 10 seconds. Speed, okay? Come on, Matt, let's have it. Don't fuck about, all right? No. Let's have it, Matt.
Seconds out. For the 6th and last round.
Well, we hope that the contest between Matthew Thirlwall and Andrew Facey for the vacant English middleweight title will come about in the not too distant future. In the meantime, Thirlwall in the black trunks, sporting that extraordinary hairstyle, has got more than a workout against the ever aggressive and ever unpredictable Jason Collins, who hasn't boxed badly at all despite having a point deducted in one of the earlier rounds for use of the head.
But he stayed there from the beginning to the end, and there's a cracking right hand landed by Thirlwall at the beginning of this round. he just stepped back and counter-punched quite beautifully. You know, I'd like to have seen him done a little bit more of that throughout the whole of this fight, but just hasn't been allowed to use his boxing skills. However, I do still feel that he's ahead in the fight. Both fighters now showing signs of being tired. There's a lot of desperation going into both of their works.
It really has been a very physical fight. Now there's Collins going in with that head again. Paul Thomas letting it go. Thirlwall not complaining. Got to get himself off those ropes and out of that corner.
Collins is so physically strong. Look, he just used his shoulder there and just pushed Thirlwall back into the corner like he was a rag doll.
Well, I think Thirlwall has won this one, but you do get the feeling that Collins reckons that he might be able to finish it.
It looks that way.
Good right hand from Thirlwall.
Backward step, yeah, he will not take a backward step, and he's trying to meet fire with fire. It's a big finish now from Thirlwall.
Well, this is a great finish too from Collins. Turned his man well, using all that extra experience and leaning on his man in the ropes. Not altogether orthodox, and Thirlwall's got to be careful. Last thing he wants is to catch a cutter from a head or anything like that.
Absolutely, he needs to keep his chin down now, because you know he knows that Collins is going to come at him with just about everything he's got, and he'll be throwing wild shots from here on in.
Well, Collins is so strong, and for a lot of this contest he's actually bullied Thirlwall a little bit.
He certainly has. But both fighters now obviously are desperately tired.
Uppercut tried by Thirlwall, just skimmed past the chin whiskers of Collins. 30 seconds remaining, Collins still there. Good solid exchange. Well, full marks to both of them. This has been a terrific scrap.
I'd like to see another one between these two. They're both getting value for money tonight.
They will both wake up in the morning and count their bruises. Oh, that was a great shot by Collins. But Thirlwall, we know, can take a good shot.
Absolutely, that went to Thirlwall's boots.
Who's it going to go to? Oh, he's giving it to Collins. Well, now that will not please the Thirlwall camp. Maybe on aggression. I honestly thought that Thirlwall had won that one. What did you think, Duke?
Well, I tell you what, it was a good decision. I mean, you know, when you look at it in a cold light of day, had we been in America, Collins would have won this in sheer aggression. Thirlwall landed the cleaner punches, in my opinion. He landed the cleaner punches, but just didn't do enough. Just didn't quite do enough.
Well, where does that leave Matthew Thirlwall in terms of this vacant English title? It may well have to be a rethink on that. And let's not forget that Jason Collins had a point deducted in one of the rounds for illegal use of the head. But what a great last round it was. Collins certainly showed his mettle and came after Thirlwall all the way. And maybe the fact that Thirlwall wasn't landing with clean shots, although he was throwing quite a lot. Certainly the last round, if anything, may well have gone to Collins, but he would have had to have won at least 2 or 3 others, bearing in mind that he had a point deducted, and very much there was a round that went in favour of Matthew Thirlwall. But this is going to be a major upset, and Matthew Thirlwall and the McCracken brothers will not be at all happy about the outcome of this. Thirlwall putting in some pretty good stuff at the end, but Paul Thomas was in the man in the middle, and despite that work by Thirlwall, he gave it to Jason Collins.
Well, there you have it, a bit of something for everybody, the connoisseur and the absolute purist and the absolute novice. Richie, thanks again. Bobby, thanks again. But that's not it with the boxing. We've got Roy Jones on Sunday night. And tonight we've seen Roy Jones' #1 fan in this country, Carl Froch. Look, absolutely sensational. Took care of Damon Haig, did it in style, looked fantastic. We're all big Cobra fans, and I know we're going to see a lot of them in the future. For those of you that are big boxing fans and big tennis fans, tomorrow morning, 9 o'clock, from Austria, Stefan Kubek against Tim Henman. Hey, it's only a few hours away. Sleep tight.